Hi everyone. I'm going to do a super quick video here to show you how to get a hull shape and also propellers. So here's the first hull. This is the hull that we've seen before a few days ago when you came during crew, and I don't even want to call it a hull. It's more just like a triangular thing that would probably float. Um, but I wouldn't mistake that for a ship's hull at all, and we all agreed that that was just a real simple, quick. This was seriously like this was a 2-minute event for me. Then this morning I worked through some more details and I did a better hull. And so this is what I came up with earlier today. And that looks definitely more like a ship's hull. It's got the skeg in the stern, which is going to help it track better. I don't know if the length to width ratio is quite what I'm looking for. I think I'm thinking about kind of a more narrow profile, but these things can be changed really quickly once you have the sketch. So I'm going to show you how I did this, or something a lot like it, and you can fiddle with shapes if you want to. I'm actually 3D printing 2 of these right now at half size. I think this one I drew is just 9 inches. I think our limit is 30 centimeters, which is right around 11 inches. And but that won't fit on my 3D printer. So once we decide on a profile, we'll just chop it in half if we're going to 3D print it, and we will chop it in half and just glue it together once we get the 2 halves built. But that's the easy part. That's later. So I'd like to show you this. Also, we've been talking about propellers. Here's a quick little propeller I drew today. Kind of standard below the surface propeller, I think. Just looking at the profile, it looks very familiar to me. If half of this was hitting the water, the bottom half was hitting the water like a surface drive. I don't know. It might do okay. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'd want the blades to be longer, though. So I did that propeller. I'm just playing with it. I threaded this so it'll fit on our threaded rod. We've got number 8 threaded rod with 32 threads per inch. So the pitch is 1/32. And that's the first propeller I did, just fiddling around. Here's the second propeller. Fewer blades, similar design, 4 blades. The previous one was 5 blades. These are also printing on the same print job right now. And propeller 3, I'm thinking more surface drive. This is less traditional. I'm thinking, what would this look like if it was spinning really fast and only the bottom, I want to say bottom half, but it's even less than the bottom half. The bottom 45% or so, bottom 40 or 45% is hitting the water. What would it do? And again, I'm just imagining these things. But I think it would slice through the water and give it a push and then come right out without slowing down a whole lot because of its thin profile. That's my thought. Reality will inform us further. Again, threaded. Number 8 ANSI threads, pitch of 1/32. Okay, so how did I draw this stuff? I'm going to show you. It won't take too long. I hope. I flapped around a little bit when I was making it. Hopefully my flapping is done and it'll be smooth sailing, pun very much intended, from here. So let me just show you how I did these, and then you guys can fiddle with these two. Tilda, I think you should draw your paddle wheel in Onshape as well. I think a paddle wheel would be pretty simple, just a cylinder with a bunch of fans sticking off of it. But let's deal with these two things right now. So hulls and props. Let me show you how I did the hull first. I'm going to start a new part studio here, and I think I'll call it. Well, let's see. I've done hull 1, hull 2, so I'm going to do hull 3. Here's hull 3. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. Again, I flapped around a little bit this morning doing it, but hopefully it'll be smoother this time. Hull 3. So let's go ahead and do hull 3. Let me think how I started this thing. Yeah, so I just drew on the right plane. Let me look right at it by clicking here or hitting the letter N and sketch on the right plane. And I drew this the length of the boat that I wanted. So our boat's going to be 11 inches long. Maybe I'll just go to the full 11 here. 11. Knowing that I can't print something that's 11 inches long, but the printer can't handle it. But that's okay. And if it's 11 inches long, I'm just going by intuition here, by half good guesses, I hope. Maybe it should be 2 inches deep. Maybe it should be 2 inches. So I'm going to draw a 2-inch vertical line here. Bonk. 2. And all I'm going to do now is quit out of the line tool and go to spline. Where's my spline tool? It's in here somewhere. There it is. Sorry. There's spline right here. And I'm going to spline from here right to there, and I'm going to escape out of that tool, turn that tool off, and now I can grab these handles. I found this morning when I was messing around that this, you just play with the shape, like, oh, what should your boat look like? What does a boat look like? I don't know. So you have to fiddle with it. But I found that making this line here horizontal helps keep it more boat-like. And then you can just drag this one around till you think it looks good. You can drag that handle around and make this the shape of the bow. I don't know. You don't want that. You don't want that. Obviously, there's something in here. That's relatively boat-like. Again, you can fiddle with this and change it at any time. It's gone gray. It's a closed-out sketch. That's good. Gray is good, and I accept that. Okay. Let me think for a second here. Then I did, basically I'm drawing half a hull, and then I'm going to mirror it. What did I do next? Oh yes, front plane, bonk, look right at it. I'm going to sketch on that front plane. And how wide do I want the boat? That's the next consideration. I'm drawing a half hull. So, if I want it 2 inches wide, I make this 1 inch. If I want it 3 inches wide, and this is a single hull. I don't want the single hull to be 3 inches wide. I think really, gosh, even 1 or 2 inches would be good. I'm just going to do this as 1, so the whole hull will be 2 inches wide. Again, we can change that. Escape out of my line tool, back to my spline tool, point to point, escape out of the spline tool, turn off the spline tool. Let's go like this. And I think I made that vertical. I think I just put it right there. Again, just feeling it out, really. Something, I'm not going to belabor this too much. I'm just going to choose that. In fact, maybe I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose that line, yeah, and make it vertical. I think it already was, but and then you can grab this handle and mess around with it too. What does your boat look like? This is the stern of the boat. Gosh, I don't know, something like that. Maybe I'm just going quickly here, and I don't want to leave the sketch yet because it's not closed out, right? That line there is part of sketch 1. That line is sketch 2. That line is sketch 2. So this isn't closed out because in this sketch, there's no line here. So all we have to do is grab a line tool and close out. This should turn gray now. There it goes. Again, gray is good. All right, so we just close that out. You can see what's starting to happen here, I think, right? And now we're going to use the awesome loft tool and start profile condition. That's this profile that I'm going to start with. I'm going to end profile there, but you'll see here it's following. Oh wait, I'm jumping ahead. Hold on, don't do this yet. X. We need to draw the shape of our deck, right? So what does the deck look like? Well, sorry. So top. Let's just quickly take that spline tool again. Let's sketch on the top plane with our spline tool and go from this starboard quarter here all the way right up to the bow, and escape out of the tool, turn the tool off, and let's, just make it look like a boat. I don't know. So again, I really think that should be vertical. And then this one you can play with. I'm just going to leave it like this. Again, play with it. But once again, sketch 3 only has one line right now, so that's not going to close out. We need to close out the sketch. Bonk and bonk, and now that should turn gray. There it is. That's sketch 3. That's what I'm after. Right now, let's go to loft. Loft tool. That surface there, and this profile here, and you'll see it's following a straight line up to the bow. But we want it to follow this line, so we go to here, guides and continuity. We choose this one as our guide, and it goes out to there instead. I accept it, and there's a half hull. Again, is it okay? Maybe, or maybe. Now, can I just simply mirror this whole thing? Entities to mirror. That entity. Mirror plane. You have to click on it so it's not red. That's my mirror plane. And boom. So there's a hull. I like my first one better. This one's kind of deep, but I bet it would track pretty well. And it has a lot of volume, so it would float a lot of gear up top. But we don't want it to be too heavy. We probably want this to be a little bit more shallow, a little bit less draft. But there's the idea, right? There's the idea, and you can fiddle with all those lines. And I can immediately go right back to, I don't know, Sketch 2. I can go back to Sketch 2 and edit it and say, oh, wait a minute, this is, I want to fiddle with this. And I could get in here and I could still grab these handles and mess around with it. Oh, I want it to look like this, right? And then I could just close it. And now my hull looks like this. Ooh, it's kind of cool. Looks like a racing yacht. I don't know. So that's how you do it. You fiddle with these things. You can change that line length to make it shallower. But I'm not going to sit here and take all sorts of time to try to optimize this. I'm just going to show you how. Those are the basics on how to get the hull shape, a decent hull shape that actually looks like a boat.